TRL GT7 Podium Championship. This is round 3 of the endurance side of this championship, and round 9 in terms of the overall combined sprints and endurance races. We are at the circuit de Sainte Croix this evening for this race. The grid is in obviously from base for qualifying in a reverse championship order, I should say. Because we didn't have a qualifying race for this round due to the clash with the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. But for this race, we have Papa Stevo on pole position, Zorro J in P2, Beeman J in P3, Specs or MG Dunn in P4, Fishtail in P5, Haz in P6, Chunky in P7, Azrael P8, Wrench or Lucky in P9, Dad in P10, Rico Samesh or Smiley in P11, Alico's P12, and our championship leader and winner of the first 2 rounds, Honda in P13, as I say, in a reverse championship order. But they are in the Honda Group 2 car, very fast car, very high downforce car. This evening, I'd say reverse grid always spices things up. But without further ado, we will get the action underway. And we are already on 3 red lights, 4, 5. It's a long hold. Papa Stevo leads them away. Everyone's, you can see someone at the back there getting a really good launch. We're going into turn 1. First of all, we want to make sure, particularly now a long race, that everyone makes it through okay. Oh, you see someone a little bit onto the grass there, but Stevo leads the way. He's got the clear air as well. So these cars are super fast, particularly with their cornering speed. Beeman J has jumped up into P2. I'm going to keep flying through it because, it's a bit of argy-bargy there. As you're going to see faster drivers coming through the field, which these Ruskins do, it will always spice things up. But most importantly, everyone's made it through okay. So, see, Honda's already up 2 places. It's Zorro who started on the front rows, found himself a little bit off the back. It's a mixture, most people on the mediums. I did see a couple higher up the field who went for the softs. At the front though, it's Jay who's taken the lead from Stevo, and there has a reasonable gap as well. Jay has gone for that soft tyre, as has Stevo. Specs' brother on the mediums right behind him. Apologies that we missed that move for the lead. It's just trying to track everything that's going on here with, as I say, those faster drivers coming through the field. I'm sure there'll be some great action there as well. But here we have the 2 brothers. Good friends, better enemies. Matt centred up the inside. There's a bit of contact there. Oh, that was a big old wobble on the power from Chunky there. He's probably got the best view in the house. And something's happened to Jay though to allow Stevo to retake back the lead. He was holding off his brother Matthew just a moment ago. It's a very long lap here. From the race here previously in Group 3. There might be a slightly different layout. Have a good view here from Chunky's POV. So Jay, who's gone from P3 to P1 back to P3, and Chunky's going to try and put him in P4 all on this opening lap. Whoa, Chunky, he tried to make that stick around the outside, but got the door slammed in his face. God, these cars. A significant step up in power and downforce from their Group 3 counterparts. You can just see it in the pure cornering speed and acceleration. You can see from the on-board mirror that it's thinking although there's James back. These 2 are going to keep contesting this into turn 1. It has allowed, as we often see, the cars ahead to just get ahead. Is this now move done? Is Chunky able to carry more speed on the outside? Jay just will not go away. And it's really door-to-door stuff. Chunky, I think, makes it stick this time. Although now he runs a little bit wide, that's going to allow Jay back up the inside. Oh, crikey, these guys are really dodging out. No damage, I hope, there for Chunky, but he's lost a couple of positions as Jay clings on to P3. Not sure if it's over, but this battle that's... Oh, Sainte! He's nearly collected Matthew with him. He's got major damage as well. He's had to wait for rejoin. I don't know what happened there. It looked like he went on his own. But this is all... Oh, sorry, we're on to lap 2 now. But this is what an... pulsating first 3 laps. I think we've had multiple changes for the lead. We've had drama. We've had a bit of rubbiness racing style battle. I thought we might have less of that in these faster cars. We've seen in some of the slower car categories that, like I said, it's resembled a bit of British touring cars at times. But these high performance vehicles, but at the same time, everything happens so quickly in these cars. Jay's got a bit of damage there as well. Smiley's fine. He's come through the grid. He's now in P3 and with his bouncing chances. Before Fishtail P4, Chunky P5, despite having a few adventures, has P6. But Honden's looks like he's just about to take into that position. God, it's close between those guys behind. God, look at this. These guys are going 3 wide into... Oh, sorry, just went into the back. The other problem, those guys race a lot. Each week they're being thrown to different machinery and some tracks that we don't race on that often. But oh my word, you could basically throw a tent over those 5 cars there. Oh, that is somebody else gone though. Who was it? I just don't see it. It's Wrench. No damage in terms of the car, but major damage to his race. And he's the overall championship leader coming into this. Honda leads the endurance round. He didn't compete in the sprint championship. But I think we're soon going to have a battle up here. The lead, Jay, doing really well to cling on with those toes. Chunky all over the back of Fishtail. He's looking to get this done if he can. Remember, these guys this is equal cars. And no tuning or setup, so everyone is racing the exact same car here. So Jay's doing really well to cling on with that damage. Ultra committed as you'd expect from Chunky there, but he does take the position. Then he's aware of Honda, who's in real good form in this championship. He's already got himself up to P6, navigating himself through some of the, I'm not going to say carnages necessarily, but there's definitely been some things going on. He might have had a bit of contact with Fishtail there, looked like he slowed to let him have a position back, although he's going to very much look to take it straight back off him. To come back to that one, just see now what's... That gap isn't coming down massively, is it, between Specs and Smiley? Jay's about to lose P3 to Chunky with that penalty. Chunky's done really well to get himself in P3. He's had a couple of scrapes early on, but he's in a very solid position. His big rival from the early part of this race, Jay, is still full on fighting him here, trying to just cling on to that last bit of performance from those soft tyres. It's good racing, hard but fair. Chunky's trying to take that wider line to carry more speed, but Jay seems to just be able to still stick with him. Oh, Chunky goes to cut off that inside. It's aggressive manoeuvre. I actually cut across now to take the racing line. Have to forgive me, I'm not overly familiar with this track. It is one of GT7's fictional circuits, but they tend to do a tremendous job on these, to be honest with you. Honda, you think is going to be put to P4 soon. Fishtail, still hanging in there. He's got Alicos very much on his tail. It's a great shot that was. Dad has had a really solid season. One of those who's been consistent across both disciplines, both the sprint and endurance. Has P9, as your P10 has a 2-second penalty. Steve-O, we know, has had a few issues. He's got Wrench with him, the yellow flag as well. Oh, it's a Fishtail. He's had an incident there. Trying to get himself going again. Spec still leads. Smiley is closing, but not at a rate of knots. Well, they might be now, because I think Matthew might have clipped that wall on the exit. As always, you've got to push those limits to the maximum, but that might have been a bit past the maximum. And I say these cars look and sound fantastic. But yeah, this is a lot closer now, this battle for the lead. We've already missed a couple of exchanges of lead in this race, trying to cover the action further down the field, so we'll stick with this one just for a moment. Oh, Matthew runs wide, this could give Smiley the run. Yeah, that is move done. You can now see Matthew's Honda very much in his rearview mirror. It's a good position for Smiley to be in. Chunky is trying to get back up to them. Honda is just having an incredible run in this endurance series. He's in a very good position there. He's not a million miles off the lead. Jay's been superlative really to hold on those soft tyres. Look at the tyre wear difference. The mediums are barely wearing. Just looking at the Dad's there. Now Anakos has got front bumper and suspension damage. That's going to really be hurting his race again. It's similar to Dad, someone's been super consistent across both the sprint and endurance disciplines so far. That's P8, Azrael also good P9. He's also carrying damage. Rents is on a recovery drive. If anyone can, he can. Steve and Fishtail have a lot of work to do. I think Zorro J has already opted to retire from the race, which is always disappointing to see. But yeah, I think our next pending battle does look like Chunky's making some inroads here into Matthew, as is Honda behind. Go back on board with Chunky. Yeah, this is a different layout. I think when we raced here in Group 3, I seem to remember we went left there. Might be wrong there. Rain isn't possible at the circuit, but it didn't look like we were getting any anyway because it looks beautiful and cleared. Although there must be relatively warm track temperatures, as I say, and these high performance vehicles, the tyre wear looks really minimal. Particularly on what is such a long lap here as well. You see the fastest laps are 2:44, so it's even longer than like a Spa lap time would be. And that's in these mega fast cars. Again, Matthew and Chunky raced for many years across many disciplines. But yeah, Chunky's a lot closer now. As you can see, Honda just down in the background. Dad is just about to get Jay. Jay's still trying to cling on. I wonder how far he's trying to take those soft tyres. Because it looks like the mediums have got a hell of a long way based off that at the minute. So Jay shouldn't be too far away from pitting. And at least with those softs, it's allowed him to. Those pit-ups and damage has allowed him to stay out of trouble for sure. Get back to Chunky and Specs. I'd imagine this type of high downforce car will suit Chunky. It was very quick in Formula 1, as was Matthew, to be fair. But just obviously this extra performance of these cars just allows you to push that a bit harder. But he is definitely closing in. He just seems to be able to carry a massive amount of speed through some of these corners. But it's Smiley who still leads. He is pulling away. Chunk will be keen to clear Matthew. Obviously the higher the performance of the car, the bigger the dirty air effect. So it's probably what Smiley's benefiting from right now. Oh, Matthew again just runs a little bit wide. I thought this would give Chunky the run. Yeah, nicely done. You can always see the specs in the rearview mirror. And this has allowed Honda right onto the back of this battle for P2. Can he keep his streak going? He's 2 from Vincent 2, and in a 4-race championship as endurance is, and it forms part of a 12-race overall championship. If he can take 3 out of 3, it's going to take some stopping. Again, you can see real variety in the lines being used. Honda does have the fastest lap at the moment. Oh, I think he's got one hell of a run here on Matthew. Has been moved on. We'll soon see. Yeah, nicely done. See that the commitment needed in that last corner, but at the same time, making sure you don't overcommit is the balance we had. But Matthew's dipped back in the slipstream to try and take the move back. Honda holds on for now. It's a smart play there by Matthew. Jay pits, so you imagine he'll be mediums to the end from there. Alako's still driving on with his damage, but in a really solid position. Wrench has done well after those early issues he had. It was up to P7. That's Jay just leaving the pits now, with damage repaired. He'll be on to medium, so he'll be undercutting these guys. He's going to clean air as well. But they're going to be coming back on and reflect fresher tyres late in the race. And just see how this shapes up between Honda and Chunky, although Chunk has got a half-second penalty. It could really bring Honda onto him. Not entirely sure where the penalty serve zone is here, but yeah, Honda doesn't look a million miles away, and again, because of the higher speed of these cars, the penalty, it says half a second. We've been doing this long enough now to know it's going to be much more impacting than that. We do have a little bit of a field spread now, particularly with Jay pitting early. There's obviously a bit of drama in those opening laps as well. Smiley's sitting pretty for now, you'd have to say. Because cars do look a handful though on the exit of some of these corners. Probably just that increased power to what the guys would normally be used to in their Group 3 cars versus these Group 2 Honda NSXs. Matthew's still sticking with them as well. And I don't think this penalty will be enough to bring Matthew back onto Chunky fully, but it's obviously going to help close that gap. I'm not entirely sure what the time requirements are for this race, whether it's free choice or not. I think based off this it'll probably be a medium, unless if they don't have to use 2 compounds, that is. Yeah, Chunky served his penalty, but as expected, it's put him under massive pressure from Honda. He holds on for now. But he's going to have a run at him here into turn 1. Slipstream looks really strong. Not strong enough. Chunky holds on for now. Smiley ahead was saying, please battle guys. Battle for as long as you can, you want to just keep extending his lead. Yeah, Chunky's done well there to hold on to that P2 serving that penalty. As he was pitting, I think he had some quite severe damage, didn't he? These will be 2 guys that will, in a few weeks' time, I'm sure, be fighting at the top end of the GT Pro division, as will the guy that's leading this race, Smiley. Specs is our GT class champion in P4, so it just shows the strength of the field. And Dad is the reigning GT class champion from the season before. You know, to go through this field is, yeah, high calibre, to say the least. As I was pitted, has he still come out in P8? Yeah, he's come out in P8. Gone for softs, so probably I think he'll have to make another stop after that. Gives you a rough idea though, because Jay pitted earlier, didn't he? And then gets come out behind Ezreal, which is surprising. But yeah, Smiley with a fairly comfortable lead right now. Main battle we have on track, I think it is this one. Although I'm trying to see who this is fighting back here. It's on the map, it looks a lot closer, doesn't it, between Ezreal and Jay. But yeah, it's Chunky and Honda for now, I think, is the main one for us to focus on. Chunky does appear from there that he has pulled a little bit of a gap to Honda. Well, if this is a one-shot race, which I'd imagine it will be for these guys that managed to avoid the damage, again, as we commented early on, the tyres degraded very slowly, but as they've started to degrade, that rate has increased. I don't think anything to an alarming level, but I do think it's been quite performance impacting, so again, pit strategy will be key. Whether you can pull an effective undercut on your opponent. Sometimes we do see examples of how powerful the overcut can be, not necessarily at the time, but coming back at people with fresh tyres late in the race. When the cards are equal, you sometimes need as many differentiators as you can, and that difference in tyre wear can be bad. Or would you rather go for the early pit and try and get the track position? It's always that gamble, because these two look very evenly matched, it must be said. I mean, what we'll do is have a quick look at Chunky's. I mean, Chunky's faster, yeah, I mean, there's a couple of attempts in the fastest laps, but other than that, they look quite consistent between the two of them. That's a green flag waving now. What could have caused the yellow flag before that? Smiley's still holding a comfortable lead. Chunky in P2, Honda right behind him. Specs fairly comfortable in P4, although Dad is, look at closing in. I wonder if that's a glitch, or has Dad literally done two identical lap times? As it stands, more solid points for Dad in the overall championship as well as this one. And now into P6 ahead of Alakos, who's been his main rival in this overall championship. Rents doesn't have damage, Alakos does. He's just going to be trying to get to a point where he can hit without overly compromising himself. Ezreal now has pulled a big gap on Jay, it must be said. I'd say Chunky for now is maintaining this gap, but if anything he's growing this gap on Honda. From a position where, admittedly it was after a penalty, but Honda was really on the back of Chunky at an earlier part in this race, but so it's comfortable. He'll be maybe thinking about what can we do about the man in front, because Smiley's yet to get into the 43s here. As Chunky's done on a couple of occasions now as Honda, but they haven't done it consistently. Smiley's been constantly in the lower 244s. So they may be both creeping up to him here. Difficult at this stage to see a winner outside of these three, just with the gaps as they are and some of the difficulties that some of the guys have had in this race. You can see there our three main leaders all on this main straight, and then again the 43.5, Chunky 43.2, so that's why he's closing ahead. Smiley is now into the 43s, so Chunky took 2 tenths out of him on that last lap. You can see behind Dad closing, I don't say closing on specs fully, but certainly it appears, at least visually, because that's all we can work on in these race replays, that that gap is coming down. Past, yeah, I mean, past a third of this race. Interested to see if Dad can start to reel in Matthew. This could be big points for him in terms of the overall championship. So it's just been going under the radar. Had a bit of bad luck. He's had tremendous one-lap pace in the races that have had qualifying, and just tend to end up in a couple of scrapes. Obviously not his own doing, but it's just sometimes how it can go. Sometimes a bit more prone to incidents, as I say, when you're racing on unfamiliar tracks. Different cars each week can invite that. We have a yellow flag ahead. Oh, it's for Chunky. Oh, we were just saying how he was reeling in the race leader. Something's happened there. I don't think anyone was close enough. It might have just been, we've seen at signs a bit of real instability in the cars. But it's that front bumper that would be concerning right now, as it's got that damage. It's really unfortunate. But that's into P4. Now this hunted down for Matthews now for a potential podium place. So just see how this race is unfolding. Yeah, that'd be really disappointing for Chunky. He's having a really good race. At least, if there's any consolation, he's picked up damage in and around the pit window. It's obviously always less impacting when that happens. So, Smiley holds at the minute, you'd have to say it's a fairly comfortable lead. They seem quite evenly matched now as well when it comes to lap times between Smiley and Honda. So will we see a different winner in this Endurance Championship? Hasn't quite carried the unpredictability of sprint races so far. Honda's been in very dominant form, that is for certain. You know, he's a multiple time race winner now in the ERO. He had the win in the Group 4 Podium Championship last year for Mitsubishi at Bathurst. He won in Group 3 last year. It was the superlative drive at Brands Hatch. As I say, he's picked up the 2 wins so far in this Podium Endurance Championship as well. Chunky decides to pit now, so as I say, it shouldn't be too impacted on him. You know, this is where it will tell us about really if there's any mandated tyres. Alicos follows him in. So popping some fuel in as well. Pretty much back to a full tank. There we go, they repair the damage. Yeah, I think they're safe on the mandated tyres because Chunky's put another set of mediums on. Oh, no, Honda's just put when he went off, he was 1mm away from T-bone, and obviously with no ghosting in this. So that could have really changed the outcome of Honda's race there. Alicos, we believe he's really dug that out on with that damage, and he's now in clear air, and this is in P8, but where not where he wants to be, but it's clear air, fresh tyres, and see what he can do from there. But we mentioned, apologies we missed it, that something must have happened there surely, because Dad's not only ahead of Matthew now, he's ahead by some distance, so add into the podium places. We saw earlier, didn't we, this man Wrench having a difficult moment, losing it looked like under traction, and then he's done what he always does, he's just managed to claw his way back into this race, and he's now closing in on Specs. But yeah, and Specs got a penalty, so he really will be closing in on him. Yeah, Dad's now, you know, in a really good position here in a fairly comfortable P3, but we've said that a few times this evening, then people have got caught out. But certainly in a good position for now. We'll see when he serves this penalty how close it brings Lucky onto him. That's why you have to commend Lucky. You know, he's an incredibly fast driver, but he just hangs in there. He's just reminds me a bit of Oscar Piastri. He's about as laid back as Piastri as well. Just nothing seems to faze him. I think it was so early to get so easy to get rattled when you're P11, P12 in a high caliber field early in the race. He's dug in there. Shows why you shouldn't quit and give up. So Specs have just gone through the penalty serve zone. How close is this brought? Yeah, he's in sight. But yeah, obviously probably struggling those tyres now. Imagine then most of these guys will be hitting this lap if they're just going to go straight 11-11. We are pretty much bang on, give or take the halfway mark. So as he was pitting, imagine he'd be going back onto mediums now, wouldn't he? He'd put Chunky back into P6. These two cars ahead haven't pitted yet as well, so again it'd be interesting to see how that all plays out. But yeah, as he was in. You see there, is he edging closer? Hard to tell from there. Just have a quick look. So yeah, really at the minute, Smiley's sitting fairly pretty, I'd have to say. London is potentially eking it in, but it's small marginal gains at the moment. Again though, both of these drivers yet to stop. Smiley has been a little bit heavy on the fuel, so his stop will be that little bit longer as well, so we'll see how this plays out. You'd have to imagine he'd be in this lap, because not that he'll know at this stage that he's got to take a bit more fuel, but if his stop's going to be a bit longer and then the undercut threat as well. Oh yep, sorry Steve, I missed that you've had the fastest lap. With a soft lap stint there, I think, but still very fast time. Bit of a field spread now. We do have a battle practice. This one where he's thinking, yeah, for a French spectacle, getting near there. We'll see though, first of all, if Star Race Leader does dive into the pits here. Oh yeah, just gets in it. Right outside that white line, as we know, Grancher's the notoriously strict track limits for the pits. Honda makes it a little bit more comfortably. And we'll go and see what happens as this plays out. But as you see there, Honda's a little bit on the field. Dad follows them in as well. Matthew looks like he's going to go on, which is interesting, as does his teammate Wrench. So what do those two know? So I was just wondering if... No, Smiley's already gone, so the extra fuel isn't going to make too much difference by the looks of it. Oh, Smiley's come out right behind these guys. We're on fresh mediums. It's going to frustrate him because he's going to have to find a way past these guys, and then by the time that happens, Honda may well end up on the back of them, and at the time where Wrench and Matthew are pitting, because you think surely they are pitting this lap. Will there be any team orders here? Because Wrench does seem to have the pace at the minute. It's going to be interesting to watch Smiley here. As I say, the benefit, he probably has warmed them up by now, those brand new fresh mediums. But yeah, it's not traffic, they're not blue flag drivers, I just haven't pitted yet for some really warm tyres. One of those where I don't think they're going to wave them through. I wouldn't imagine they're fighting either. Yeah, Smiley, just be wary of Honda behind. Oh god, Wrench ran wide then, and so often in this game, car ahead goes off and it pulls you with it, but Smiley did well to avoid that then. Let's see if Matthew... Pardon me, that's no reflection on this race, it's just been a long old week. But yeah, Smiley retakes the lead, which really, in effect, he still had net anyway. Imagine Specs and Wrench will be in this lap. The tyres are in better days, the fuel's into the red. It's really I thought you might see Honda gain a little bit through that pit stop phase, but gap seems fairly stable. Do wish that the replay would give us that information, but we'll work with what we have. We've got visual gaps for now. Oh, that little camp section there for this track always reminds me a bit of the Nürburgring Nordschleife. But yeah, are they into the pits this lap? Are they going to try and go to softs? No, they're in. Matthew's in. Oh, a bit of a moment there. And that is Wrench following in. Yeah, in they go. Chunky is, oh, okay, so, oh no, he's got Alicos right in the back end. Chunky, oh, so unfortunately he's got that end of the damage again. Alicos all over the back of him now. This way, yeah, looks like Chunky's got a lot of extra drag from that damage. It's unfortunate. Yeah, move done. Nice move by Alicos, damage on that. Oh, Chunky's trying to hang with him. But, so, oh, Specs got a 3-second penalty. That would be for the pit lane. As we said, it's notoriously tough on pit lane line penalties. The man behind Wrench should be kicking himself after clawing his way back in. He's going to have that error on his inlet. And I'm still going to kick himself. So will Matthew here with that penalty. Even if he gets past Chunky here, oh man, Chunky's got 1.5 himself. Alicos, another driver here that's just gone under the radar, looks set to pick up really valuable points again. Just trying to see, is that Honda? Yeah, something's happened here because Honda suddenly looks a lot closer to Smiley. So we've got a tasty battle coming up back there, but we have to just focus on this one for the lead for now. We will get back to that other scrap further down momentarily. I just wonder what happened there to bring these two so much closer together. But yeah, there's definitely been a closing of the gap there. To quickly get back to the back, so Alicos clear a chunk. So that's going to be interesting to see how much Wrench can close in when the two ahead serve their penalties. Yeah, because I'm just trying to figure out. Yeah, we're coming near. Yeah, here it is. Let's see what difference how much he can close in. God, look at that closing speed. Like I say, those penalties are so damaging to you because you lose the time and you lose the momentum. And so with the speed of these cars, the momentum loss. Although you regain it quicker, the momentum with the extra horsepower, the actual loss of speed is massive. We saw that closing speed there. So Wrench has clawed himself into back into these positions. He'll be fancying that P5. I've had fairly cut in P3, Alicos in P4. How is Honden's hunting us while going back? It looks to have steadied again, doesn't it? I'm looking there, yeah. I think it was after his pit lap. Smiley had a 247 and 248. Now Honda had 247, I was then 244. Yeah, so that's I mean, it's actually, when you look at the comparison, a 4.5 second difference. Hence why this gap has closed right up as we get into the final third of this race. But we may well have a battle on here. It's not an easy track. It's an old school in terms of you make a mistake, there's a wall there, there's grass there. Tricky cars with a lot of horsepower. Looking there, Smiley winning some traction control, Honda winning with none. But yeah, this is race on. Try and keep an eye on any battles further down the field, but sometimes in these hour-long races, all the battles are in the midfield, and the guy at the front, if he's been able to get clear air, is often see you later, but not the case here. This is very much race on now between these two. So come on to already approach back markers, which is interesting. Yeah, as they're coming up to La Paz. Let's have a quick look here. Oh, this is still this is chunky P5 with damage, wrench with fresher tyres and no damage. You'd have to be fancying that P5, wouldn't you? So just keep for now flicking between this battle and the one for the lead. Yeah, Smiley flashing there. Yeah, he lets him through, and then Honda's going to come through shortly as well. Oh, yeah. Smiley stabilised now back into the 243s. Honda now comes past his compatriot Haas. Oh, you could hear the squealing there, couldn't you? But yeah, this is gonna really shape up interestingly. We say only a few laps to go, but these are long old laps here. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, Rent's now into P5. Which, let's say, from where he was on the opening stages race, is a really solid recovery. Chunk shown some flashes of real pace tonight, but hasn't been able to keep himself out of trouble. And we'll now be thinking about Matthew and whether he could potentially be at threat with that damage of losing his P6. That's also a bit of no man's land. P8, Stevo. Again, similarly in P9 with damage. Jay, after such a promising start to this race, P10. Fishtail, again we saw him having some dramas already with P11, and Has likewise, looks like Has is going to box. But I think especially with Wrench being past Chunky now, we're primarily on this battle. We will keep an eye on anything else that's happening, but yeah, this could be a really interesting one. On the mountains, really low 43s on mediums. It's only 6/10 off Stevo's time in the softs. Beautiful scenery here, but right now we're always focused on, as we try not to actually focus on, Smiley's car is focused on hitting those apexes, getting those good exits. Waiting for an opportunity. yeah, the way that these cars change direction is just incredible. I almost have the nimbleness of a single seater there. We've seen all race that slipstream effects are strong given these equal cars. Tremendous commitment through there. So you just keep on egging and egging that gap to reduce if you're the car behind. If you go over the bridge, we look noticeably closer this time. And it's going faster again. It's probably putting in the 42s. Probably benefiting from a little bit of slipstream, but then that will be countered by some dirty air for these twisty bits. But yeah, this is one hell of a battle between these two warriors of the RL. Smiley, a two-time elite champion, Honda, a multiple-time race winner, could well be Podium endurance champion as well. Can he get the run here? It's closer than it's been at any point, you'd have to say. They stretch down the home straight into the final stages, final 15 minutes or so of this race, and we still have a real battle for the lead on here. But it's just, I don't want to miss this battle for the lead, but there is something tasty happening back here. Oh, Chunky's got himself back at a wrench, which is really surprising. And Steve and Specs are still closing in. Definitely one for us to watch there. But we've just got to stick with this one for now. This has been the calm before the storm, I feel, unless Smiley can hold on. And it just seems to be edging in and edging in. I mean, it's 42.8 last time around. It's just incredibly quick on, you know, worn medium tyres. When you look at the fastest time on a pair of fairly new softs, it's crazy, really. Back here, these guys are really going for it. Chunky, we saw in the grass there, still managed to hold on just about. Again, good friends, both Midlanders. But they don't want to give each other an inch when they're on track in a competitive race. Wrench is back ahead for now. He did get himself ahead of Chunky, but did end up back behind him despite Chunky covering that damage. Spec still keep them just about in view to try and pounce on anything. Oh, now from that view we saw Smiley have a little bit of an issue on the exit. That is exit onto bridge is causing people a bit of an issue, and Honda now is right. Well, I was going to say on his rear bumper. He's now alongside practically. Backs out for now. Oh wow! What a save that was from Honda. Yeah, these cars are tricky under power. Particularly those two Honda running no 2C. But that actually now, yeah, because of that, Smiley's got a bit of breathing space again after having one of them breathe all over his neck. But yeah, let's see how. It's going to be interesting. Honda seems to have the slight edge here, but as the great Murray Walker said, we've quoted him many times, catching is one thing, overtaking is very much another. Let's quickly see what's happening back here. Oh, Specs is now ahead, Chunk. Is he going to pit? Yeah, I think Chunk's going to pit. Oh, don't get yourself into the pen. That's a really solid drive, and from Alakos and from Dad. I mean, these three, Dad, Alakos, Wrench, they really do. I've been super consistent across the sprint and endurance disciplines, across multiple cars as well, so you have to take your hats off to them. Asriel joins Chunky in the pits. Oh, I'm been pushing really hard now. He just seems to have fallen a little bit back from this one. Oh, another scary moment. Chunky's out the pits on softs, as is Asriel. He didn't lose the position, basically it was a free stop. Guys have done well to stick at this race, and it's, oh my god, look at how much damage Has does. Good lord. That's the front. Oh, again, there's another squirrel under power there. We're approaching the last stages of this race. 4 laps to go. 10 or so minutes to go. And Smiley's now back to having a bit of breathing space. He's improving on his fastest lap as well. I just have the feeling this one's going to go down to the wire. It seems like if that gap is increasing just that little bit. Yeah, this is our main battle on track right now, with Chunky and Asriel pitted. It's just taken away. I just want to see, yeah, Specs is still keeping Wrench just about in sight, but yeah, we focus our efforts on an eventful race. Unfortunately, the field's a little bit spread, which can happen, but yeah, if you were to say at the start, we'd have probably looking at that around a second between P1 and P2 as we reach the final stages, and say 2 of the all-time greats of VRL GT7 here. I mean, really, I think regardless of whether this is P1 or P2, he put himself in an unbelievable position for the Podium Endurance Championship. So Smiley, a 2-time elite championship winner. These are 2 guys that, to say, know what they're doing at the top end of Gran Turismo. Not much in it on the tyre wear. Just seem now to be closing again. It's been a real ebb and flow battle between these 2. Different lines, different approaches. You've seen the odd, I'm not going to say mistake, but you've seen just how hard they're pushing at times. One wheel onto the grass, a little bit of brake of traction to make things tricky at times for them. It's supposed to be so unnerving for Smiley to just constantly have this driver in the rearview mirror. And you've read so much of this race and for such a long time now. Oh, what a shame that's the way. I didn't even notice that Smiley had a penalty. But what a shame. I mean, obviously a penalty is a penalty, but you wanted to see that decided on the track, and I think with Honda having a slight edge on pace, this is going to be really hard to recover Smiley now unless Honda can make the same mistake, but that is a shame. We're denied that that battle. We hadn't seen it flash up because I think we were tracking Honda at the time. But eventually I can only gather or assume that relentless pressure was taking its toll and just led to that error from Smiley. But yeah, if Honda does this last to first again for a third consecutive win, he's going to have to take the hat off to him. I don't think it would give him the championship yet, but it's going to put him in a, needing minimal points, you'd imagine, and going into that final round. Looks like Adakos just did a quick pit stop, potentially for a fastest lap attempt. Obviously, I think he had the room behind to do it. Specs is ahead of Wrench, and Wrench has damage again. So, in terms of that overall championship, that's going to make things very interesting. Yeah, I think as it stands, Honda will be taking a 25-point lead into the final race with a maximum of 31 up for grabs, so if he fancies his chances there. It's crazy, just looking as it stands, 1, 2, 3. Honda will be P9 the overall championship, only doing effectively 3 out of 9 races. It's pretty incredible. Yeah, and see, we've got 2 sprint races to come this Saturday. The final 2 rounds of that, which are at Goodwood and Sardegna, and then we finish at Croix. So in the endurance, what we'll try and do is update the sprint standings after Saturday night, so we can declare sprint champion and let everyone know how the overall standings are. But yeah, I think for now we're going to be looking at oh, it's the yellow flag. Who's the yellow flag for? Trying to figure out that was for. I think it must have been Haas. Chunky's just taken the fast lap with a 2:42 dead. I think Adakos will be trying to take that. So we'll come back to him at some point, see if he can take that fastest lap. Smiley will be so frustrated. It's still been a really good drive and an excellent result when you lead the race for so long, and it's a penalty that allows the car behind past. It's always going to be that element of what if, isn't it? I think it's something. Ironically, this race took place just after the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, where a certain Mr. Verstappen was lamenting a penalty, which potentially cost him a race win as well. So this is very much a case of art imitating life there. It's not over yet though. Oof, nearly was with that. These cars just look a real handful in the power. They've probably just got so much power. The dads, yeah, super comfortable now in P3. Although I was on a million miles off those guys at the front, but another podium it looks like for him. But it's not over. I mean, we were looking at a fairly similar gap the other way around, so it'll definitely be interesting to see if Smiley can do anything to come back at Honda here. It'll be interesting to see then if Adakos can do anything about the fastest lap point. See how comfortable. Yeah, if you imagine specs, it looks fairly comfortable, doesn't it, in this P5 from Wrench behind with the damage. The next question is going to be, can Chunky on relatively fresh stuff, I mean they are a little bit worn of course, no damage, whether he can catch Wrench ahead on mediums with damage? I'll never think as to what's going to his last lap. It just looked like Honda's extended again a little bit on the advantage here. So it's actually a slightly slower lap, but yeah, looks fairly comfortable. I'll stick with this one until they cross the line, then we'll flip to see if Alico's going to they've got that fastest lap. But will there be any dramas here on this last lap? As Honda leads. Finn, we saw all kinds of leaders on the opening lap. It's in Smiley then dominate most of the race, but Honda was always that threat that was just kept coming through, just edging closer and closer, and eventually, I have to say, I know we didn't fully see what happened, probably just the relentless pressure and how hard Smiley's having to push to keep on the behind just led to penalty to Smiley, which ultimately looks like deciding this race. But yeah, potentially another last to first here for Honda, and the third win out of 3. Alicos is already going to take that fastest lap for 2:40.6. Honda just trying to bring this home now. Race has flown by again, I've got to say. Still there, pushing and kicking up a bit of dust and grass. But it's roughly halfway around this final lap now. Still a reasonable gap behind. Reached the latter stages. Yeah, if anything, I think he's stretching his lead. He's come over the bridge for the last time. Yeah, it's starting to look fairly comfortable now. But yeah, what can we say? Just been a third win in a row. You're gonna have to start asking if he can complete the clean sweep from this Sunday. What's happened here is sitting behind. Smiley's now really struggling, and Dad's right on the back of him. I'm not saying if Smiley run out of fuel, but if anything, Dad's got even less fuel. We need to give this man his moment for now, as he's already started the weaving and flashing the lights. Don't do Nigel Mansell, don't do it too soon. Wipers on as well, but yeah, that's a superlative drive. Congratulations on him. He does make it 3 wins out of 3 and practically has one hand now on this Drivers' Championship. Smiley and Dad in a race to the line here, and Dad takes it from Smiley. Now they are teammates. I wonder if Smiley's done that to let Dad have that to help him in the championship fight. Alicos is in P4, he's got his fastest lap. Got a lap car, I think, just ahead of him. Takes P4. Chunky, I tell you what, with all the trials and tribulations he's had this evening, to come over P5 is some effort. Wrench has gone through just about everything so far in terms of trying to, having dramas on the first lap, getting back in the position, and then having some dramas again. But yeah, still managed to cling on to P6. Specs takes P7. Azul takes P8. Stevo, so we've got a reasonable chunk of this lap to go, but he's in P9. Kenton, as we saw, have a few difficulties earlier, but he's done well to finish the race. Unfortunately, a bit of a field spread this race. Stevo picks up that 1 second penalty. It did seem like a bit of a cut in that last corner. So he's just going to serve this penalty before finishing this race. Steve comes home 4P9. Oh, and that's in the replays. I think we've reached the maximum time, but I think it was Joe. Was it P10 and Fishtail 11, and then Hazard 12. But tremendous battle there for the race win between Honda and Smiley. It's always disappointing when you don't see the battle settled on track, isn't it? But at the end of the day, you know, penalties are part of racing. Congratulations to Honda, and congratulations to Smiley and Dad for the podium positions there. As I say, we've got our finale this weekend, 2 sprint races on Saturday to decide our sprint champion. We have Sunday's race to decide the endurance champion. We'd have to say Honda has one hand on that trophy already, and then we will also decide overall champion and teams championships. Again, we will try and bring you the action. Either if we can't do it live, we'll certainly bring it to you at some point, and we'll look to update those standings as soon as we can after Saturday's race, so everyone knows where they stand heading into Sunday's finale. We are then on a week break for the bank holiday weekend, and then we'll be back with our full-fledged Elite Championship, where we'll be bringing you the action live every week, and we look forward to that. So there's a lot going on in Gran Turismo ERL tiers right now. We've been recruiting like mad as well, and a lot of exciting times ahead, but another thoroughly enjoyable race, and we look forward to seeing you all again soon. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Enjoy the rest of your evenings.